During the pandemic, there were a number of technologies that had huge booms. One is Zoom, obviously video conferencing. Secondly was e-signature, and e-signature was simply because people didn't want to touch a grubby pen. So Docusign really took off.
Docusign's business was just booming during the pandemic. In the first year, revenue was up about 50%, and the next year it was up almost that much. People were kind of hopeful that these rapid growth rates would continue because people were getting on board with this new way of doing business. That's not really what played out in reality.
Electronic signatures are widely used around the world on contracts, mortgages, legal documents, and many other types of agreements. When the COVID-19 pandemic sent everyone indoors and businesses online, e-signing really took off. Adobe and Dropbox both offer e-signing tools. There are also many smaller, less sophisticated players, but Docusign is the industry's clear leader, with the ability to offer enterprise solutions to businesses operating globally.
Docusign's stock price was up about 300% from the start of the pandemic to its peak in 2021.
But then as we exited the pandemic, people had bought as much Docusign as they needed. The way Docusign works is you buy the number of envelopes that you need, and people had bought tons of envelopes because they didn't know when the pandemic was going to end. And so you had a couple years afterwards where enterprises basically had to burn through the extra envelopes that they'd bought during the pandemic.
Docusign's stock plummeted in December 2021 and continued to fall in 2022. While it's still far from its pandemic peak, it started climbing in summer of 2024 for a few reasons.
It took a couple years for all those customers to burn through the extra capacity that they had bought. Now they finally got there, and so now their spending is starting to pick up again as they have to buy new envelopes.
There are a few things working in the company's favor. One is that the company has this new CEO and he's brought more efficiency into the business. Another thing is that they're making a push into artificial intelligence.
Docusign is really well positioned for the AI era for two reasons. First of all, is if you think about legal documents in general, that's a perfect use case for generative AI, generating the contracts instead of having a human write them. Secondly, in order to train a generative AI model, you need a lot of content, so you need a lot of contracts. Docusign has the largest deposit of contracts in the cloud on the planet.
So some examples of the way that the AI could be used in real life is, let's say you want to look at all contracts that are going to expire in the next 6 months, or all of the ones that are mentioning a specific term. It would take a lot of manual labor to go through files or even do copy-paste searches through your electronic documents. The company is trying to make this a lot easier for its customers.
Docusign's biggest competitor is Adobe, which bought the e-signature company EchoSign in 2011 and has a vast base of users to offer e-signature to.
You know, the big opportunity that Adobe has with e-signature is Adobe has the document cloud, right? And the document cloud is built off the PDF format. And so if you think about it, so many contracts are in PDF, and if you have a super easy, trustworthy signature solution, it seems like that should be a great fit.
Dropbox is a lesser competitor, offering e-signature as a value add to its clients. It acquired the startup HelloSign in 2019.
It really hasn't worked out that well, and just recently Dropbox de-emphasized e-signature, and they're completely focused now on AI-driven search of all that content that's inside of Dropbox. So if you look at what are the biggest tailwinds for the e-signature industry, the e-signature industry itself, that core part, is pretty mature, right? The real opportunities are what can you build around e-signature? So how can you use AI to create more intelligent agreements that really help you get the information you need in order to drive your business? How do you get the information out of those agreements and make better business decisions?